My full name in Icelandic is Pall Valdimarsson. I was 30 years at the University of Iceland before I went into the geothermal industry pretty much full time. My field at the university was geothermal utilization, and I was a full professor for about half this time. And after that I was with various companies in geothermal utilization around the world. And now I am with a really interesting consulting company, which I own myself, and I am the only employee. My lecture is about the technical units of geothermal utilization. I am doing this in 4 parts. 2 of them are the main parts. The big part about production of electricity from geothermal sources. And the second big part, central part, is the production of direct use, also district heating, aquaculture, agriculture, industrial use from geothermal. Then I have an introductory lecture before this, and there I go into how we in geothermal are not able to save the world yet. We will do, but we are not able to do that yet. And then after I have finished the 2 core lectures about electricity and about direct heat, then I have 1 session about economics. We are talking about geothermal utilization, about the geothermal energy companies. And what are the main challenges? The main challenges are that this is bound by physics. We are bound by the real world. This is not just marketing a product to a market where the product can be made relatively easily. We are dealing with geothermal from the ground. We are dealing with some physics of material at 3 or 4 kilometers depth in the ground, where our understanding may be very limited. And then this means for the management of these companies, there has to be a very thorough understanding about the limitations, about the geological, about the physical, about the chemical limitations of the geothermal industry. So that are the main challenge, and I don't know how many times I've got into a situation where project was on the way to go bad because the management had not heard about some kind of physical limitation which was hidden in all the beautiful Excel tables. And that's the main challenge, and that's what I'm trying to shed a little bit light on here in my lectures. It's very important to realize that we are small. And you go here into Central Europe and the possibilities are relatively limited. We have good geothermal in Hungary. We have very little here in Austria. We have more Lassenbecken, also the area around Munich, which is fantastic. And then the other fields in Germany are quite difficult to deal with. So the opportunities are not everywhere. They are pretty limited. About geothermal, about specialization in geothermal and jobs. It is a little bit this art's typical situation. Usually nobody has need for you. But when they have, they really, really do need you. So it's very obvious for these young people here, or for these younger than me people here in the program, that the opportunities in geothermal may not be hanging on the nearest tree. But when they are needed, they will be really, really needed. And maybe the beautiful thing about this program is preparing these young people to go into the field of renewables, having knowledge of all of them. And they are in a lot better situation than me. I only know about geothermal. And they will be better able to understand the advantages and disadvantages of each of these utilization fields. Global warming is killing us, and discussion about that is over. The issue is to stop this warming, and the easiest thing to do is to tell people you can't breathe anymore, because we are releasing about 300 kilos of carbon dioxide every year just by breathing. So when you start looking into drastic measures like this, then you have to realize that this is a real problem. And this is the challenge we are standing in front. Geothermal is very small in this regard. What is important to look into is that heating of buildings is the big issue connected to geothermal and is a big issue connected to global warming. Because heating buildings are consuming about half of the human energy consumption today. And if we can heat our buildings in an easier way, then we'll have so huge effect on the carbon dioxide release and on the global warming. I am going to be a little bit brutal, and I'm going to say what we need now are better heating systems for our buildings. There was a very clever chap living in China many, many years ago. And his name is Confucius. And in his Analects 7:22, he says, when 3 men walk together, one of them becomes the teacher. Learn from others and improve the bad in them. And this is maybe what I try to tell them. I'm not the teacher. We are sitting here discussing, I'm telling of my experience, and you don't believe how many times the valuable thing I have learned are coming from the classroom, from a student who doesn't intend to be clever, but he is without realizing it. I think I'm telling the students, maybe with a joke, we in geothermal cannot save the world yet. I have learned these lessons about heating of buildings, and I think that this is a key issue in the future. I'm sometimes saying, half joke, half real, meaning that the war on global warming will be lost or won in China. There are many people in China, they need heating, they are having huge consumption, and we can improve things a lot there. So we should do similar things here in the West and clean our own garden, do things properly, heat our buildings in a proper way, try to get transport systems that are decent. And I'm saying this because I'm not meaning that we should change our quality of life. We should stop unnecessary waste in what we are enjoying today. And that's maybe the key word. Reduce wasting, but enjoying life.